Welcome in everybody, Brandon Vickery with you from Valpo Sports Information, and we talked to Valpo first baseman and Valpo's leading hitter, Zach Leone, as the Crusaders coming off taking 2 of 3 from Arkansas Pine Bluff this past weekend. And Zach, let's talk about the jump that you made in terms of the level of baseball. You go from being a standout at the D3 level to playing here Division One. What's the transition been like so far this season?
We definitely did a lot of preparation in the winter to prepare me for this season. The difference is pretty evident with, size and speed of the game. Right away, you see that when we started off at Alabama. But, there's plenty of talent in D3. And I think, just look at it as a battle between you and the pitcher every time and kind of just go from there.
Well, you've made the transition look seamless. I mean, after posting video game numbers over your career at that level, you've actually hit even better in terms of batting average at nearly 450 this season. What's made it look so easy for you at the plate?
I think just the approach that Coach Walgamot has really instilled in all of us, and it's something that I actually kind of had some similar. I definitely had a similar tendency when I was, at the D3 level with the two-strike approach, and right away I bought in because I completely agree with it, and I think you can see that 1 through 9, and even when the guys come in off the bench, everyone's ready to hit, aggressive early, and then they stick to the two-strike approach, and you can see that with the success throughout the lineup. And anyone's success, solo success, is due to other people's success around them. So, I think our team's gelling really well, at least hitting-wise for sure.
And you mentioned it, guys in front of the table or in front of you in the lineup have set the table well. What's it like batting in those RBI spots, and how do you take advantage of them consistently the way you did on Sunday with those 7 RBIs in one game?
Well, it's really easy when the guys in front of you are batting very similar, if not just as well. Like I said, again, it starts with who's in front of you and behind you, and having Gio back after the 2-week span is great. Sam, Chase, and Blake have just been extremely consistent in this whole entire time, and just like I said, just makes it really easy to get up with guys on base, and they've done an amazing job so far.
And there he is, Valpo first baseman Zach Leone. Right now we transition and visit with the head coach of the Crusaders, Brian Schmack, as we take a look at this past weekend against Arkansas Pine Bluff. But first off, on the topic of Zach, just what have you seen from him in his first season playing for you this year?
Well, it's been a great surprise. We have him for 1 year, unfortunately, but he's just a very good hitter, and we saw that obviously over his career. His previous school, and then this past summer, he just hit, and that's something that you just sometimes can't teach, and he just has a knack for that, and thankfully it's continued so far, and hopefully, it does later on too.
Let's talk about the way things have been going lately, and certainly you've had some nice wins, and it seems like in the losses you haven't been overmatched. You've been right there, and it's been a few little things here and there, which can be good news and bad news. How do you maybe get over that hump where you're fixing some of those little things?
Well, we have to be able to get on the field and practice. A lot of the things that we've been doing to ourselves have been just that. We're beating ourselves. We've been in most every game. I don't feel like we're overmatched, like you said. It's just that we'll make an error, or we'll have a little misstep, and it turns into 3 runs, and we have to be able to stop that. And right now we haven't been able to. So it's getting better. I think. Like I said, we're getting beat, which is fine, and it's us beating ourselves is what we have to eliminate. So that's what we try to work on.
You have to like the way the lineup has remained consistent and the run scoring has been strong. You look at the top 5 guys in the lineup and batting averages all above 320. Just what's that been like to see out of your team so far, and what have you seen out of that group?
Yeah, it's been very comforting for one. It gives us, and the pitchers should understand that they don't have to throw shutouts to win baseball games, that we're probably going to hit a little bit and give them some support. So hopefully it just takes a little bit of stress off of them also. But, it's been nice and consistent. It's not the same guy every time also, and that's good because when one guy goes for 0 for 3, 0 for 4, the other guys are picking him up. And, we're not there relying on the 3-hole hitters, let's say, to get the job done for us. Everyone's kind of pitching in, which is awesome.
We're at that point in the year after spring break where it transitions and you go from playing in a lot of warm weather areas to playing more games here in the Midwest. What's different when you're playing games in cooler temperatures?
Well, it's actually a little bit better because we're home. That means we're home and we're close. The 2.5 week spring break that we're on it's long. It's tiresome. We're in hotels. you're on the road constantly, you're eating different foods, and it gets to be a drag at the end, and it's always been that way for us. So when we get back home, we get a little bit of a routine in us, so obviously we don't like being in the cold, and we'd rather play in those warm temperatures, but we also get back to the routine and consistency in the cages and in our own lives that help us out. So we're actually looking forward to it.
Crusaders will be at Chicago State on Tuesday, 3-game series at Butler this weekend, and then home next week against Ball State, and then starting conference play against Bradley. For all the latest on Valpo baseball, check out valpoathletics.com.